How's it going? Adam Drake here, and today I'm going to take you under the hood, show you a closer look of my 10 scale gas truck. This is the Ignite conversion that I used recently at HRCR for the Adam Drake Gas Truck Nationals. Had a few people just kind of ask what the components were that I used, and figured I'd just do a little under the hood and give you a closer look. So we have the J-Concepts body that was painted by Darkside Designs. The stickers are from Stick It One Racing. And this truck is the Team Associated 10 scale stadium truck. I believe they have a newer truck out now. I built this probably a year and a half ago. So I do believe they have a newer kit out now. But I had built this just planning to kind of play around, and it was brand new. So instead of kind of updating it or getting rid of the brand new parts just to put the new stuff on it, I just wanted to kind of get it out and run it as is for this race. Maybe for next year I'll update it to the latest version, which I think is a T6.2, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but so what we have here, I'll just kind of do a little quick rundown. Power plant is the OS T1204. So this is a on-road nitro touring car engine. So tons of power. It ended up, even though the track was really big at HRCR and really flowing, this engine was still slightly overpowered. So what I did was I just ran the smallest Venturi in the carburetor, and then I just turned down my throttle EPA a little bit just to reduce the overall power just a little bit. If you were there, you heard it, and this engine was definitely screaming out there. So the pipe is the Ignite one-piece exhaust pipe, and then I used Flashpoint 30% nitro fuel, so same fuel that I use in all my 8-scale stuff. Controlling the truck was the Futaba T10PX radio with 404 SBS receiver. Same as in my 8-scale, ProTech 170 SBL for steering and 170 TBL for throttle. In the receiver box, I have the transponder, and then you can see here the battery pack is the Flashpoint 2500 milliamp battery pack, and that mounts to this carbon plate directly under the fuel tank. I was talking with Wes, who runs Gas Truck quite a bit, and he was a huge help with kind of this whole project. He actually recommends using the smaller, lighter weight ProTech. I believe it's a 1600 milliamp battery, so that's something that maybe I'll try in the future. For the most part, the truck is the way I built it, kind of out of the box. I did use some titanium screws. Originally, I had the J-Concepts black finned titanium turnbuckles, but I wasn't super happy with the associated ball cups and ball studs. Even if I greased the turnbuckle kind of fit a little bit tight into the ball cup, and sometimes the ball cup would almost pop off even when adjusting it. So I kind of dug through a bunch of my stuff. I found some old school Lunsford Super Duty 3.5 millimeter turnbuckles, and then I used ball studs and ball cups from the Mugen MSB1, and these just seem to fit quite a bit better. They kind of snap on a little bit better than the standard AE ball cups. I have ProTech aluminum servo horn, front bulkhead. This was one of the only things that I kind of broke or had any problem with on the truck. The plastic bulkhead that comes in the kit, I did break along with the little bulkhead strap. So while I was at HRCR, I bought the aluminum bulkhead and ran that, and then the rest of the weekend everything held up and was really good. I have a 3D printed battery box. I was kind of a little stubborn at the race. I wanted to try to make the truck work basically the way it comes if you buy the conversion kit. So I didn't want to put a different battery in, move the battery to the back. That probably would have been a pretty easy improvement or setup fix, just to take a bunch of weight out of the center and move it to the back, kind of how we used to run the trucks. But I kept the battery under the tank. I, at one point, had added a little bit of weight to the back of the truck, and it did drive better, have more rear grip. So I got a battery box from one of the racers. He actually makes this battery box, and he makes his own conversion kit as well, which is pretty cool how much 3D printed stuff he's got for gas truck. But I used the battery box basically just as a box to hold weight. So I put a couple of the Mugen 40-gram chassis weights in the back, and that was substantially better. And then I didn't really have much other weight, so I actually used a couple of 8-scale pinion gears. I think in total I probably ended up adding probably a little over 100 grams to the back of the truck. And that, again, just kind of helped with the stability and overall traction. As far as the clutch goes, I have the Ignite 2-shoe clutch. It's 2 aluminum shoes with 0.9 springs. And other than that, it's pretty stock. I ran the plastic spur gear. I think they have an optional gear. I am going to do a little bit of work with the slipper spring though. I'm going to try to see if I can use an MSB1 slipper spring, or I believe AE maybe has a kind of heavier duty spring, because in the longer race, when everything kind of got hot, the slipper did lose its adjustment slightly. So it was good and tight, and then it started to slip a little bit, and then it stayed really consistent. So it's not like I had a problem where I kept losing drive and getting looser and looser. It just, once everything got hot, the slipper did slip a little more than what the original adjustment was. And I also was talking with Wes. He mentioned they have an optional smaller spur gear, which allows you to shift the engine back. So that's something else that I may try also. But as you can see, it's really clean build. Ignite did an awesome job with the conversion kit, and it was super fun. At first it was a little bit of a challenge to drive, just because for one, it had been so long since I had run gas truck, and then I just kind of had to make some small tweaks and changes. The setup that I started with from Wes was more for kind of a higher grip track. So I just made some small changes, ball stud washer here and there, rear toe, anti-squat. Tires were a really big thing. When I first started, I ran the original J-Concepts Double Ds all the way around. And then I switched to the blue Carvers, and that was definitely much easier, more comfortable to drive. Then I went to the J-Concepts Double D version 2, and that was also an improvement, not only in the amount of rear grip, but also the tire wear was much less. The version 2 held up much better. And then I also started with open cell foam. I ended up going to closed cell foam front and rear. That just kind of added a lot of stability. It didn't necessarily help with grip, but the stability was so much better, and it was just a lot more comfortable to drive. And other than that, not too many hop-ups or upgrades. Just pretty much a basic associated truck with the Ignite conversion, and J-Concepts body, tires, wheels. And yeah, that's just a closer look at my gas truck that I used at HRCR for the recent Gas Truck Nationals.
One, Isaiah.